So quick and concise explanation on the point system in Jiu Jitsu. This is consistent for most competitions, but varies a little bit, okay? So we always start in a standing position. The ref's gonna, tell us to slap him up and then start going. If I take my opponent down to the ground, right? So I use a, let's say a takedown, and I get Dante down to the ground. Here, as long as I can keep him here without him getting up right away, I score 2 points, and that's 3 seconds that I have to hold him down, okay? So it's not the takedown itself, it's what happens after the takedown that matters. Now, from here, usually if I take somebody down, they will get a guard as long as their feet get between me and him. And, generally he's gonna make some grips on me and stuff, but as soon as his feet are pointing at me, he has established a guard. In order to get guard passing points, you must first establish a guard, okay? So right here, if I get around Dante's legs through a bullfighter pass, for example, and I get to a side control, I'm gonna score 3 points. From here, I can move through some pinning positions and score some additional points. Just now, I scored 3 points, not for a position, but the fact that I got past his legs. And again, remember, to get guard passing points, there has to be a guard established first. Now, let's say I'm in side control. Okay, I just passed the guard. Again, I have to establish. So if I pass and he gets out or he gets up to turtle or something, go ahead and boom. If he gets out right away, I'm not going to score unless I can hold him there. That 3-second rule applies for every scoring type situation. They want to see control, that you can control that, okay? So now from here, the only position that scores points from a side position is knee on belly. So if I get up here to a knee ride position, this knee must be off the ground. This position right here scores 2 points in most competitions, okay? The knee ride or knee on belly. Now, from here, if I slide into a mount position, and again, I have to establish it. If he bridges out and I get knocked over or rolled over, which is what we see quite commonly in white belt division competitions, people are just in such a hurry to get up here, and then boom, they lose it, okay? That's 0 points right there. But if I'm able to establish for at least 3 seconds, right, and I'm able to control and weather the storm here, I will score 4 points. Okay, 4 points is the highest scoring thing you can get in most competitions. And the only positions that score that is the mount and back control, okay? So I can further score an additional 4 points if I expose Dante's back here, if I get behind him, and I take his back, okay? So come around to the front over here. The key here is I must have hooks. This is kind of an old, antiquated rule, but it's true for most competitions still, that the leg configuration matters for the scoring criteria, okay? If I have like a body triangle, or like my feet are crossed, for example, you're gonna hear me as a coach yell to you, uncross your legs. That's usually for 2 reasons. You could also get ankle locked, but yeah, see, I already uncrossed just to avoid that. But the main thing is for scoring, you have to have your hooks kind of symmetrical here. Okay, and once you get your points, then you can do whatever you want to with your legs. You can body triangle, whatever, okay? So that concludes the pinning position scoring aspect of it, okay? Now let's look at a couple interesting situations that can happen. Let's go to standing again real quick. So if I take Dante down from a standing position, and I go right past his guard, right? So some throws, especially hip throws, I'm gonna knock him down, and we go right past the guard because he never established a guard, right? I do not get guard pass points for this, okay? And you guys should know that. It's okay, you'll still score your 2 for the takedown if I'm able to establish, but don't count on getting the pass points for free because there was no guard established, okay? Secondly, stand up real quick. A lot of people don't know that this is equivalent to a takedown, okay? So if I snap him down, right, if I get his hands to the floor and I cover him here and I further maybe break him down to his elbows, which makes it easier for me to go behind my opponent. If I have, he could step up one knee even. If I have at least one of his knees down on the floor for a count of 3 seconds and I get behind his arms, I will score 2 for the takedown. Okay, so it doesn't have to be kind of your classic, you take him down and it's like a clean, on your back type takedown. I can snap him down and go behind him for 2 points if I can control one knee on the ground for 3 seconds and I get behind him. Okay, so now let's look at a sweep situation. Okay, we get in the sport of jiu-jitsu, you get points for reversal. Okay, which means I must knock him down and I must get on top. Okay, so let's say I establish a guard and hit Dante with a classic tripod sweep, knocking him down to the ground. Dante fights back up into me a little bit, but I'm able to get myself up, get my hips above his, and I'm able to control him and keep him down. That's going to score me 2 points. I did 3, but it's 2. Okay, 2 points. So there's a really important key here. My hips must be higher than his hips, and I must hold him here for at least 3 seconds to score. Okay, stand up for me. Let's show what won't score, just for an example. Okay, a lot of times at white belt division, people hit a beautiful knockdown, right? And then they lose control of the legs, whatever. We both end up getting up. That's going to score 0 points, okay? Let's have you go down to your knees this time. Okay, now watch this. Something as simple as I push Dante with my foot. He stumbles back and he falls. Boom. If I can stay above him with my hips and he doesn't fight to get back up, I'm going to score 2. This is why this is important. Watch. If your opponent, if we're fighting, we're wrestling, and your opponent kind of shoves you and you just sit to your hip and you accept this and you start playing guard here, that's 2 for him. Never, never, never do that, okay? So we don't ever want to sit to our hip in a guard situation. Now, you might be wondering, do escapes score, right? So like, let's say I'm in side control and, I ghost escape out of here, boom, establish a guard. That's not going to score any points, okay? Escapes don't score. However, if I go from that escape into an arm drag and I get on the back and I throw my hooks in, I establish a seatbelt, that's going to score 4 for the back, okay? But it was the position that scored and not the escape.